In this lesson, we'll cover materials. So we basically have a three-dimensional model on our screen. We are displaying the MEP mechanical system for HVAC, and we would like to actually add material so we can render this for a basic image. So looking at the image right now, we can see the HVAC components are pretty much gray. There may not be any material assigned to them, maybe just a color. So your question may be, well, what are the materials? Where are they? And how do I assign them to a specific unit, or in this case, a specific component, such as a ductwork piece or element? First, let's look at materials. Materials can be managed from the Manage tab. So on your ribbon, click Manage. Once on the Manage tab, all the way to the left on the ribbon is a button for Materials. Go ahead and click Materials. This will open a new window displaying materials. You can look at all the materials or click the drop down and sort or filter just the materials you want to look at. For example, I want to look at metals. So on the drop down, I'll choose metal, and this will be all of the metals that I can apply to various different components within my system. Now, you can change these, you can duplicate these. My recommendation, though, is if you need to make a modification, you duplicate the material and then you create a new one, keeping the original intact. The buttons in the lower left will actually allow you to add materials, change the materials, and duplicate the materials. But again, I wouldn't change the existing, I would duplicate those to make a new material. I'm going to select the metal steel just to highlight this. Over on the right are the settings for its graphics, for shading, surface, and cut patterns. The Appearance tab on the right is the overall appearance, showing you what this material would look like. You have the information for that material, the metal information, pattern, cutout, and tint information as well too. So we want to apply, let's say in this example, metal steel to our ductwork. Go ahead and click Cancel on this window. So now that we know where materials are at, how do we place those on our components within our Revit model? That can be done through your object style settings. So again, on the Manage tab, to the right of Materials, there's a button called Object Styles. Go ahead and click Object Styles. Now, Object Styles let you do a lot of things. Line weight, line color. You can see that on the various tabs for annotation, the analytical imported objects. But also on the Model Objects tab, you can set similar information, line weight, line color, line pattern, but also you can assign the material. For example, if I click on ducts, all the way to the right in the rightmost column are material settings. Right now there's no material assigned to my ducts, but if you click within that cell, I see a little button with 3 dots, the ellipse button. Go ahead and click that. This will open up that material browser window that we just looked at. Here I can select a material such as steel, click OK, and now steel is applied to all ductwork inside of Revit, at least for this project. And I can do the same thing for my flex ducts, for my flanges, for piping, and other mechanical equipment within the system if I want to define it at this point. Go ahead and click OK. And what I'll notice is once I click OK, the model in the background will change, updating with a different shaded mode, or different color if you will, for the ducts that I applied that material to. You can also change the shading mode on the view bar on the bottom, and I could change the visual style, in this case to realistic, just to illustrate some of the changes that we've applied. Here I can see that material is updated, and it's showing me the appearance based on the setting of that material. Go ahead and click anywhere in the background to deselect. So as a review, in this lesson, we looked at how to add materials. We looked at our material groups and our material settings from the Material window from the Manage tab. Once we knew where our materials are at, we talked about modifying materials, stating it's best to duplicate the material and create a new one. From there, we actually wanted to apply the material to components, systems, elements within our Revit model. We did that through Object Styles. In the example we used, we selected ducts and we applied the material steel to all of our ductwork. Lastly, we went and looked at the 3D view and looked at it in a realistic visual style to see the difference in the setting, picking up the appearance from the material that was applied to the ductwork.